What if the reason you are not where you want to be in life is not your circumstances, not your background, not your lack of money, not your lack of time, but a set of silent, invisible mistakes that are operating inside you right now, this very second, destroying your potential before you even take your first step forward? What if the greatest men who ever walked this earth, men of power, men of legacy, men of unshakable greatness, were not born different from you, but simply learned to avoid the exact same traps that are swallowing you whole right now? What if I told you that every single dream you have abandoned, every opportunity you let pass, every moment you chose comfort over courage, was not your destiny, but your mistake? A mistake that can still be corrected, but only if you stay with me until the very last word of what I am about to share with you. Because what you are about to hear has the power to either change your life completely or confirm exactly why you will keep losing. The choice depends entirely on whether you are ready to face the truth about yourself. So stay with me. Every second of this matters. What if the life you have always dreamed of, the success, the respect, the financial freedom, the legacy, was never taken from you by the world, but was quietly, slowly, and brutally destroyed by you? What if the greatest enemy you will ever face is not standing in front of you, but living inside you, dressed in the comfortable clothing of excuses, fears, delays, and self-doubt? This is the hardest truth that most men will never accept. And because they refuse to accept it, they will spend their entire lives pointing fingers at the economy, at their upbringing, at their neighbors, at their government, blaming everything and everyone except the one person who holds the real power over their destiny, themselves. Let me tell you something that will shake you to your foundation if you are truly listening. The men who failed in this world, the men who had potential, who had talent, who had every reason to succeed, were not destroyed by bad luck. They were destroyed by specific, identifiable, avoidable mistakes. Mistakes that, had someone warned them early enough, could have been corrected. Mistakes that are operating in your life right now, today, in this very moment, as you consume your time wondering why things are not working. The first and most devastating mistake a man can make is allowing fear to wear the disguise of wisdom. Fear is the most cunning, most deceptive, most sophisticated liar that has ever existed in the human experience. Fear does not come to you wearing a terrifying face. It does not announce itself loudly. It whispers. It whispers in your ear that you should wait until the time is right. Wait until you have more money. Wait until the conditions improve. Wait until you feel more confident. Wait until the children grow up. Wait until next year. And men listen to this whisper because it sounds so reasonable. It sounds like patience. It sounds like wisdom, but it is not wisdom. It is destruction wearing a costume. Every single day that you wait because of fear is a day that a bolder, less talented, less qualified man is moving forward and taking the position that was meant for you. Fear has destroyed more potential than poverty ever could. Fear has killed more dreams than failure ever did, because failure at least proves you tried. Fear never even lets you begin. And the most terrifying thing about fear is this: the longer you feed it with your inaction, the stronger it becomes, until one day it is no longer a whisper. It becomes a wall so thick and so tall that the man on the other side of it cannot even remember what his original dream looked like. That man is not living. That man is simply existing. And existing is an insult to the gift of life that was placed in your hands. The second mistake, and this one has quietly murdered more promising men than perhaps any other, is the crime of indefinite purpose. Most men drift through life without a clear, burning, obsessive, defined purpose. They wake up in the morning with a vague idea that they want to be successful. They want more money. They want a better life. But wanting is not enough. Wishing is not enough. A burning desire backed by a specific, written, time-bound purpose. That is the only force in this universe that can override every obstacle, every setback, every moment of darkness that will inevitably come into your path. Think about this carefully. A ship with no destination is at the mercy of every wind and every wave. It goes wherever the storm takes it. But a ship with a clear destination uses that same storm, those same winds, to propel itself forward with greater speed. The difference is not the storm. The difference is the destination. The man without a definite purpose will spend his entire life reacting to the storms of circumstance. He will be thrown left and right, up and down, by every economic shift, every personal setback, every rejection. But the man who knows exactly where he is going, the man who has written it down, who can see it clearly, who thinks about it constantly, that man uses every storm as fuel. The third mistake is one that will make some of you uncomfortable because it forces you to look at the people sitting closest to you. The third mistake is choosing the wrong company. The people you spend the most time with are not just your friends or your colleagues or your family. They are the architects of your mindset. They are the invisible sculptors of your ambitions. They are the quiet engineers of your self-belief. And if you are surrounded by people who have accepted mediocrity as their permanent condition, who complain more than they create, who criticize more than they contribute, who dream small and think small and speak small, then I promise you, no matter how strong you think you are, no matter how self-motivated you believe yourself to be, their energy will seep into you like poison seeps into clean water, slowly, invisibly, completely. There is a reason that every great man in history was surrounded by other great men. There is a reason that eagles do not spend their time nesting with chickens. The eagle that chooses to live among chickens will eventually forget how to fly, and the man who chooses to live among those with no vision will eventually forget that he ever had one. This is not arrogance. This is not abandoning loyalty. This is survival of your potential. You owe it not just to yourself, but to every person who will one day be changed by the greatness you have not yet released into the world. The fourth mistake is the one that separates the successful from the almost successful more decisively than anything else I know. And that mistake is indecision. Men who cannot make decisions quickly, men who wobble, who hesitate, who change their minds constantly, who second-guess every choice, are men who will always be controlled by those who can decide firmly and act boldly. Indecision is not just a bad habit. It is a declaration to the universe that you do not trust yourself. And if you do not trust yourself, the universe will not trust you with opportunity. Every major opportunity that life presents has a window, not a permanent door, a window. And that window opens, it offers itself to you, it waits for a moment, and then it closes. The man of decision sees the window and jumps through it. The man of indecision stands there weighing his options until the window closes forever. And then that man spends years telling the story of the opportunity he almost took, the business he almost started, the investment he almost made, the life he almost lived. Almost is the saddest word in the human vocabulary. Do not build your life on almost. The fifth mistake is perhaps the most culturally accepted, the most socially normalized, and the most silently destructive force in the lives of modern men, and that is procrastination. We have made procrastination acceptable. We have given it modern names. We call it taking our time. We call it being strategic. We call it waiting for the right moment. But understand this absolute truth. The right moment will never arrive perfectly. The conditions will never be ideal. The stars will never align perfectly on your behalf. The man who waits for perfect conditions before he begins will die waiting. Procrastination is not a time management problem, it is a character problem. It is the outward expression of an inward lack of self-discipline. And self-discipline is the most important single quality that separates the man who achieves from the man who only dreams of achieving. Every single morning that you wake up and choose distraction over action, entertainment over education, comfort over commitment, you are making a vote. You are voting for the version of yourself that fails. And enough of those votes cast consistently over enough mornings will elect a life of permanent disappointment. The sixth mistake, and I want you to feel this one deeply, is the mistake of giving up at the point of greatest resistance. Most men quit. They quit just before the breakthrough. They quit just when the pressure is at its highest, not knowing that pressure is the signal, the undeniable universal signal that something great is about to happen. Gold does not become gold without the fire. Diamonds do not become diamonds without the crushing weight of time and pressure. And men do not become great without going through the periods that feel like they are being crushed. When a man is being tested by life, when everything seems to be falling apart, when the business is struggling, when the relationships are strained, when the money is not coming, when the people he trusted have disappointed him, that is not the universe punishing him. That is the universe preparing him. That is the forge doing what it must do to turn ordinary iron into extraordinary steel. The men who walk away from that fire will always remain iron, ordinary, breakable, replaceable. But the men who stay, the men who look the fire directly in the eye and say, "I will not move," those are the men who emerge as something entirely different. Those are the men who build empires. The world is full of men who came so close, men who had the talent, who had the idea, who had the plan, but who could not survive the test. And the saddest part is that the test is not designed to destroy you. It is designed to qualify you, because greatness cannot be given to a man who has not proven that he can carry it. The weight of success is enormous. The responsibility of influence is crushing. And life must know before it hands you the keys to the kingdom that you are the kind of man who will not crumble under the weight. So I'm asking you right now, in this moment, to take an honest inventory of your life. Not a comfortable one, not a generous one, an honest one. Look at where fear has been making your decisions. Look at where you have been drifting without purpose. Look at who you have been allowing to shape your mindset. Look at the decisions you have been avoiding. Look at the mornings you have wasted. Look at the moments you walked away just before your breakthrough was about to arrive. Because every one of those things is a mistake. And every one of those mistakes is costing you something that cannot be replaced. Time. The one resource that no amount of money, no amount of ambition, no amount of regret can ever buy back. Every day you operate with these mistakes running unchecked in your life is a day you cannot recover. It is gone. And the man you could have become on that day, the progress you could have made, the ground you could have covered is also gone. But here is what is not gone. Today is not gone. This moment is not gone. The fire inside you, however small it has become after years of neglect and bad decisions, is not gone. You would not be here receiving this message if there was not still something inside you that refuses to accept the life of a man who almost made it. That refusal, that quiet, stubborn, undying refusal, is the most important asset you possess. It is the raw material of greatness, and what you do with it from this moment forward will determine everything. Choose your purpose, define it, write it down. Make it so specific that every morning when you open your eyes, your first thought is a moving toward it. Destroy the company of small minds and seek the fellowship of those who are building something. Make your decisions quickly, firmly, and with the confidence of a man who knows that inaction is always more dangerous than imperfect action. Refuse to give procrastination a single morning of your remaining life. And when the test comes, and it will come, because that is the agreement you make with greatness when you decide to pursue it, stand firm. Stand absolutely, completely, immovably firm. The mistakes that destroy better men are not mysterious. They are not unpredictable. They have names, they have faces, and they have been operating in the lives of failing men for as long as men have existed. But you, right now, have something that those men did not have in time. You have awareness. And awareness is the beginning of every transformation that has ever happened in the history of human achievement. Do not waste it. You were placed here to build something, to create something, to become something. And the only thing standing between you and that something is the decision you make right now. The decision to no longer be the man who allows avoidable mistakes to rob him of an unavoidable destiny.